Boom.
Biddly, 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 but yes, yeah. Here we go. Ain't nobody down round here. You know what time it is. Get that badger in and on and over here. We had to move back to get his greatness in. The clock watchers are in and on and over here, but we have to state this. We are 12 subscribers off the target before the start of the season, which is 5,000. We are 12 off. I think I gained about 10 or something yesterday during the underlap, which I appreciate every which one of you. It went really well last night. Plenty of views. I'm going to do an interview next week, hopefully with Luke. I'm going to try to get Dave on. We'll see what's happening, see what's popping. So there'll be plenty going on next week. But how are we all? Quick shit vid. That's not why we're here. You know why we're here. If you didn't know and you never knew. 12 off 5K. That's all we're bothered about around here. Apparently, not apparently, but the Buendia is on his way back from Bayer Leverkusen. So they had an option to buy him, 16.7 million. He's on his way back to Aston Villa because they do not want to trigger it. So obviously we had all this in January, didn't we? And Farke made some interesting comments, I would say. I think it might have been me filling in the gaps a little bit, but I don't know whether it was a reality, whether Buendia was on the table or not, or whether he did want a bigger move. And, you know, as much as I love Leeds United and I think we're a massive club and have the potential to be significantly bigger than Bayer Leverkusen, obviously at the time there, at least, you know, in the Bundesliga, they are one of the top teams there. So, you know, I can understand why he would want to go there. But Farke sort of said a few things like saying we want players that want to be here. We don't want players that are picking up a paycheck and stuff, which is correct. I'm not sure he was on about Buendia, but ultimately, if he was, we are now in the Premier League, aren't we? So it is a completely different proposition for him. Obviously, in January, it would have been like still on the loan basis. He's probably thinking, well, it's slightly risky if we don't go up. Then he's back to Villa. He's maybe not ripped it up in Championship. He's obviously a little bit injury prone of late, but I would take him. Certainly would take him over Hamer. I think it'd be a lot more exciting. He is ultimately a Premier League player. If we was to compare Buendia's Premier League apps with Hamer's Premier League apps, chalk and cheese. Buendia's on 121 and Hamer's on 36, and we're talking a very similar price. You know, they're talking like 12 to 13 million for Hamer, 16 million for Buendia. I think for the extra 3 million, you're getting much of a better player. He's 28. Unai Emery has obviously given him the blessing to leave, hence the loan to buy option that Bayer Leverkusen had. So that is an interesting one. What are all your thoughts on Buendia? I know we had it all in January, but I think the general consensus that he would have been mint. He sort of plays on the wing, can do the 10 role, so it would be an interesting signing, certainly with whatever happens with Solomon. The headline for Solomon is, don't be surprised if Tottenham sell Solomon. I don't think anybody will be surprised if Tottenham sell Solomon. I thought that was the whole point of the loan. I think they've been sort of open to selling him all season. I think we could have bought him probably in January had we wanted him. I'm growing increasingly more towards the fact that he's going to move somewhere else, to be honest, though. But obviously the window is about to open imminently. And I think Solomon will get done quickly or not at all, because I think it'll be a case where it's basically in place now to pull the trigger on and bring Solomon straight in because it's easy to do. And if we can't do it and don't do it quickly, I don't think it's going to be, certainly not something they're going to be looking in the middle of the transfer window and be like, shit, should we explore Solomon now? They'll have explored it, seen how much Daniel Levy wants, whether they're willing to pay it, because obviously they'll want to bring other players in and what have you. We have to talk about the 49ers. My man Parag has stepped into Scotland. He has taken over Rangers, and a few are losing their minds, getting ready for the outrage to come. The 49ers, my man Parag has said that it will not affect or impact the plans at Leeds United. These people have a lot of money, kids. I think it's arguably a good thing what they're doing. They're serious about building a legacy in football, aren't they? They will no doubt run it as two completely separate businesses. They are very busy people. So the funds that Leeds United create, this idea that the funds are going to get like washed up elsewhere is just, I don't think it's the case whatsoever. The funds that Leeds United bring in obviously will be spent and reinvested into Leeds United, and any juice that they get off investors or whatever will be solely for Leeds United, and then they will do the same for Rangers. I think it's potentially a good thing. The busy people, they'll work plenty hard, won't they? They'll do plenty of work. So you go careful there now, my love. You go steady. Parag stepped in onto the board at Rangers, vice chairman, and a few people have lost their mind about that. The vice chairman, don't get overly upset about it. You go careful there now, my love. Go steady. I think it's likely that he'll probably just be CC'd into most of the emails. So just, stay loose. I don't know, if you've got a chicker out, get in on them shoulders and just sort of like, try and release a few of them endorphins, boys. They're still in talks, still in discussions with Firpo and Byram. Let's get that confirmed. Let's get Firpo done, and then we do it. Firpo's a no-brainer to me. I think Byram hangs in the balance on the basis that I think Byram will definitely be wanting that contract. But I think Leeds United or the 49ers, Parag, Farke, etc. I mean, I know Parag does absolutely everything and Farke does absolutely nothing, but Parag will be telling Farke what he's doing, or what Farke has to say in press conferences. As we all know, Parag's the main man and he does everything from the bus tour to picking the side. So Parag's the guy, whether he's sat down, stood up, or doing a cartwheel, he does it all. I think it hangs in the balance on the basis of what we can sort of achieve within the window and how they think that it's looking at. I think Byron will probably be getting pushed around a little bit, and sort of waiting on it, as opposed to Firpo. I think he'll be looking out and about and around, out, up, out, in, down, over, all over the shop. Obviously, he'll be open to a foreign move, another country. I'm not sure Byron will be offered that or will be looking for that at this point of his career. Probably drop down back into Championship, or what do you think Byron's future is? If not, I'd like to see him signed just on the basis that, again, I don't think he's going to let us down. I don't think he'll be on ridiculous wages. But Firpo's certainly a no-brainer, especially on the basis that you then have to go out and get 2 left-backs if we don't confirm Firpo. Kelleher, who is the best goalkeeper in the world, obviously immediately after Trafford. Somebody put Donnarumma in the mix. But Kelleher is the best keeper in the world that can't get into the first side. At least with Trafford, he's not only the best keeper in the world, he's the best footballer in the world, but at least he plays for the side, Burnley. Now, I know Liverpool are better than Burnley. Some might say not. Some might say Trafford's better than Alisson and Kelleher combined even. Who knows? He certainly can do a job up top, can't he, Trafford? You need a team of Traffords. That's what we're looking for next year. If we've got 11 Traffords on that pitch, we'll be all right. But Kelleher, who is the best goalkeeper in the world that can't get in the first team, apparently the price has dropped. So they're looking at 20 million, which is much more like it. I'd be much more interested in that. I think the 40 million was wild for the best goalkeeper in the world that can't get in the first team, regardless of how good you rate Alisson. But, imagine if Burnley signed Kelleher. What the hell happens then? You've got Trafford and Kelleher. Do you make a case for playing 2 keepers? I know they can't both handle the ball, but, Trafford could probably do a job, I'd say, up top as opposed to centre-back. Because sort of when you think of keepers, you'd think stick them centre-back or right-back or maybe, in, I don't know, middle at park. But, I think Trafford just goes straight up number 9, doesn't he? Burnley, for long periods of the season last year, struggled for goals. So if you put Trafford up there, there's absolutely no reason why not. There's loads and loads of other links. I'm conscious of staying away from the clickbait, guys, because, we don't do clickbait over here, do we? We take our YouTube channel very, very serious over here, and we don't like to do. There's zero clickbait on this channel. It's a very serious media channel, and if you didn't know that by now, then you never knew. But yeah, there's loads of people linked, as we all know. There's loads of youngsters, players from Coventry, players from Liverpool, players from Man City. As it comes up, I'll come out, but I couldn't be asked going through every single one that's sort of linked, because it's just getting a bit ridiculous. But it's certainly going to be an entertaining window, as we all know. Let's get up to 5K. Got a quick story to tell on the clickbait, because we had to stick it in the title, because we all know, we all do the clickbait. Let's not pretend that nobody does the clickbait, that everybody at this game is into clickbait. You can write it up however you want. You can message it in different ways. You can put it up however you want on your title. It's all clickbait. Clickbait, by its very nature, is baiting you to click on it. Clickbait, doesn't matter whether it's put in a professional manner or put in a dog shit manner, it still stinks. Jonny Evans started on my mate in Manchester years ago. I'm talking years and years and years ago when he were at Man U, and my mate was on crutches. Clickbait that up. That is a true story. Not even clickbait, because it's fully true. Still clickbait. Still baiting you to click it. But if the Jonny Evans story don't get you in, I don't know what does. Peace. Appreciate every which one.
Boom.